Did we get you because you look most like the Paul Bunyan Trophy?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure why, actually, but yeah, we did that back.
Eric, what has this week just been like in general preparation? I mean, this is your 5th year. How does it change, especially going into this year?
Well, I mean, the stakes are a little bit higher. We're 7-0 right now, so every game is a championship game. Coach says that every week. But I think we saw last week in the Big Ten that anybody can beat anybody any week, with the Penn State, Ohio State game. So intensity is a lot higher than normal, but nothing's changed over the last 5 years, really.
Ben said you helped him a lot working on technique, getting ready for the start last week.
Braden?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he has a lot of experience playing tackle, though. He did play that 2 years ago, but, it's a little bit different, especially in pass pro, so I was just trying to help him freshen up on his technique.
When you watch, obviously different side, but when you watch film, how do you think the two Bens did?
Oh, they did a great job. Considering that was the first game Ben started at tackle in a long time, and I was and Bredeson's a young guy, but together they did a really good job.
What's the biggest challenge when you do have some shuffling on the line like that?
Not much. We get a lot of reps playing in practice, playing different positions. I don't just play right tackle. Nobody just plays one position, so we get a lot of reps doing that. But once you get in the flow of the game, you don't really notice it.
How important is it for you to get a win after Michigan State before your career's over?
It's really important. I've never beat them as a player. Like playing actually, my redshirt year, we beat them. But it's really important. Especially, last year was heartbreaking. So it's not so much of revenge, but we need to get a win.
What do you remember about playing up there the last time?
I just remember being embarrassed. Last time we played there is overall just embarrassing. We couldn't run the ball. We had trouble pass protecting, everything like that. It was embarrassing, and the time before that was even more embarrassing. So those memories definitely stick in my head.
Do you think it was a little bit of an intimidation factor? Do you think they had a little bit of a mental edge, being a tougher team or something like that?
I don't think it's ever been toughness or they're intimidating or anything like that. They're another football team. Don't get me wrong, they're a good football team, but they just flat out beat us last 2 times we've been there.
Is that something
you see from their D lines year to year?
Yeah, they're always tough guys. They get upfield fast. They play physical, and it seems to be like that ever since I've been here, and probably before that too.
When you talk about being embarrassed, is that something that you convey to the younger guys who weren't there?
Yeah, we spoke last night. Kind of older guys on offensive line room just spoke to the offensive line and told them, some of the younger guys kind of take the season for granted. They came in here and we've been winning ever since and everything like that. So they kind of haven't been through the downs we've been through, and the bad times kind of make you a little bit tougher. But us older guys definitely remember going in there 2 years ago and 3 years ago and getting embarrassed, and even last year was heartbreaking. But we try to remind them that just because we're 7-0, it doesn't mean that they're gonna lay down and give it to us. They want it probably more than anyone else to beat us for many reasons. So we got to go in there and execute and play as tough as we've ever played.
Like, what are some of those? You said for many reasons. What on top of being an in-state rival, you're talking about Michigan State having a lot of reasons to want to beat you.
Yeah, we're number 2 in the country right now.
And that puts
a big target on your back. They've struggled a little bit this year, obviously, but anytime you're a top team and you're playing against an unranked team, they have more motivation to beat you.
How much more ready are you guys than those previous years you were talking about to go up there and take on this challenge?
I think we're a lot more ready. Mentally, I think we're ahead than what we were before, but more than anything, I think it's maturity. This is the most mature team I've been a part of. This is the most experienced team I've been a part of. So I think those two things, maturity and just mentally, we're a step further than we've ever been.
Eric, can maturity maybe outweigh talent in a game like this?
I think it can outweigh any time, not just a game like this. Talent, something's very, very special. But us older guys, we've been there, we've played there, we've played in a lot of places before, we've played away. And like I was saying before, we know what it feels like to get beat by them and get beat badly by them. So I think we have an extra edge going in there, just a chip on our shoulder that I didn't have there as a redshirt freshman or redshirt sophomore.
Have you gone back, watched any of the previous games in this series?
Yeah, I watched all of them, all the games we played in today, actually, since I've been here, just to remind myself what it could feel like if we don't prepare the way we should.
Was there one play that sort of stood out more than the others besides last year's game?
Too many bad ones. There's so many times in the last 3 years that we played against them that we just didn't do our job, 10 guys would, one guy wouldn't, something like that. So it was hard watching, but something I wanted to do, just remind myself.
Did you watch it alone or with a fellow?
Me and Kyle watched it, and it was quiet, but it was good for us,
Even Kyle was quiet during that?
Yeah. It was just one of those things, like, we shook our heads, like, I can't believe that happened, but learn from it. They have a lot of the same players. We've played against some of the guys for a while now, some of the same guys, but it was just something to remind ourselves of what could go wrong.
Eric, are those two games, 2013, 2014 up there, are those, like, if you need a big motivation, if something's difficult, are those the ones that stick out to you as far as I don't ever want to feel like that again goes?
There are a couple of them, just because it's in-state rivalry. Anytime you lose to a rival, it really sticks with you for a while, and put a lot of emphasis on there in this program on beating Michigan State, beating Ohio State, and we haven't been able to do that. So something I need to get done in my career.
It sounds like you're taking this more personally than most of the guys going into this one.
I think all of us upperclassmen are taking it personally. You get kind of sick of getting beat up, like the kid on the playground gets beat up all the time. Eventually, you're gonna get sick of it, and you got to get personal sometimes and stand up for yourself.
This is kind of an off-the-wall question, but I was watching his Facebook Live. There was a commenter that said that the Jordan here looks dope. What has it been like to have that be like the only team in college football to have it?
It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope to say the least. No, it's cool. I like it a lot. All the Nike stuff is basically the same, but it's been awesome. We're the only team, so it's pretty cool to get first and the only.
You get a lot of Christmas present requests for it.
Yeah, I get a lot of people asking me if they can get gear, but we only get a certain number of stuff, and a lot of my friends or family members aren't the same size as me, so they can go to MDen. They have a lot of stuff up there. Jordan, I'm pretty sure.
Eric, you mentioned a couple of years ago, not being able to run the ball. The year Devin got sacked like six times. How far have you guys come as an offensive line?
We've come a long ways. I think we struggled with past years with running the ball because of many different reasons, but we couldn't get a solid group of 5 guys playing in every game from what I can remember. But I think the thing that we have is we'll have 4 guys that have played there before, 4 guys that have played against this team before, possibly 5. So I think that's the advantage we have that we didn't have before.
Have you guys, how much time, or if you have yet, talked to Wilton? He's kind of proven himself through the season, but going to East Lansing will be his first time as a starter. What have you guys talked to him about?
Don't need to talk to him. We have confidence in him. He leads the Big Ten right now, I think, in passing rating or efficiency, one of those two. But you don't need to talk to him. He knows what it's about. We played good teams. Not the first good team we played this year, big game. Had Wisconsin, a few other games that were big time. So he's ready to go.
Obviously, going to Rutgers was, being your only road game so far. That was the first challenge. How do you prepare for going to a much more hostile environment in East Lansing?
Just using noise in practice. We have speakers going. Don't use cadence. But besides that, it's playing football. Once the ball's snapped, you don't know if it's loud or quiet. It doesn't make a difference. So just pre-snap music is kind of how we go about it.
What do you remember about your last couple times there as far as the fan element?
Like you said, they're hostile. They love Michigan State football, just like our fans love our football. But yeah, I think they love beating us more than any other team in the country, and for fair reasons, But I remember being hostile.
Being a West Coast guy, when did you realize the intensity of the Michigan State game?
Probably the first time we went there. But my redshirt year, the game was here, and we beat them. But you don't really get the full grasp of everything when you're playing at home. When you go there and all the fans are flipping you off and all that type of stuff, when you're pulling in, you kind of realize it's a big deal.
Do you allow yourself to think about what it might be like after that game if you guys win?
I mean, that's all I want to think about. I don't want to think about the other way. I can only imagine us driving home with Paul Bunyan on our side, because that's what we're going in there to do. Don't want to kind of believe in not being negative. Just think positive, and the other way happens, and we'll figure it out from there.
So do you sort of not dismiss, but it sounds like you weigh the 13 and 14 games much more than last year's because of the way it ended? I mean, you guys played well in that game.
Yeah, I think I think last year was a first a step in the right direction as far as since I've been here. The last 5 years, 4 years, just because we obviously played them very well, and that was a very good team, and it came down to the last play, and they won. But it was different than the years prior to that, where they outright beat us and dominated us for the most part. Last year I think you could argue it was a pretty fair matchup and went back and forth.
Is it? I mean, you talked about how tough they were in those games. Is that the biggest insult an offensive lineman can take? Is when you get pushed back? I mean, they were more physical.
Yeah, definitely. You kind of pride yourself in dominating the trenches, and when they do that, it's like I said, it's pretty embarrassing. It's hard to leave the field without your head being down when you get dominated like that, and don't want that to ever happen again. Well, thank you.
Thanks, Eric.